From the town and flyover of Hambantota, just 12 kilometers away, lies the first RAMSAR designated wetland in Sri Lanka. 250 kilometers from Colombo, this national park, wetland and UNESCO designated biosphere is unique in more respects than one. One enters the park after a visit to the ticketing center, arguably the most attractive among the national parks. Its elevated walkway and viewing areas mean one could spend time bird watching from here as well. Bundala was designated a wildlife sanctuary only in 1969 and thereafter designated a national park as recently as 1993. While being a unique wetland with rich biodiversity, the park's 3,400 hectares give the wildlife a diverse set of habitats and multiple wetland types. Dry and thorny shrubs along with small trees make up the plant life. The park's geographical location is adjoining the sea south of Sri Lanka. There are 5 lagoons, most of which have been converted to salterns. The Koholankala and Mahalevaya lagoons have been completely converted to salterns. The only remaining lagoons, of which some have been partially used for the production of salt, are the Bundala, Malala and Ambilikala lagoons, which are a haven for the Avifauna. The ecosystem and wetland has also changed over recent times, mainly by fresh water from irrigation channels and tanks being diverted here. This is one of the few places in Sri Lanka you could encounter the salt water as well as the freshwater crocodile. The park's dry period is from May to September, with the other periods experiencing tropical monsoon climate conditions. The Bundala National Park has been identified as an outstanding important bird area. Almost 200 species of Avifauna can be seen in the park, with about 100 species being water birds, and half of this number being migratory birds. The park is visited by the migratory greater flamingo. However, due to varying climate conditions, the timing of their arrival is difficult. There is an abundance of lesser whistling duck, cormorants, grey heron, black-headed ibis, and spoonbills. Medium-sized and small waders also populate the beautiful marshes, estuaries, and swamps. The sea, which runs a 20-kilometer shoreline from the south of the park, is an important haven and breeding ground for endangered species of turtle who migrate to Sri Lanka. Unfortunately, the local fishermen are allowed in the park to access the sea and fish. There are a few mammals which inhabit the park, including a very small number of elephants and monkeys, including the tufted grey langur. The park is also home to amphibians, reptiles, fish, and invertebrates. The park has no bungalow accommodation, but there are 2 campsites operated by the Department of Wildlife Conservation. The DWC, in collaboration with the Field Ornithology Group of Sri Lanka, has also commenced a national bird ringing program. This enables a greater study of the migrant birds and their movements. Current conservation projects include removing invasive plant species, of which, interestingly, the cactus seems to be naturally dying out through a fungus attack. The park is a great place to have safari, undisturbed by the hordes of visitors, like one would find at the adjacent Ruhunu National Park. Both the avid birder and wildlife enthusiast will find enough sights to capture one's attention for several hours.